somebody in there!
Oh, waste of a morning. His barrister got an adjournment. Where is everybody, ma'am?
Division are keeping Dashwood, Gregg and Lyons till next Monday.
Oh.
Problem?
Well, I just got back from court. The DI's on attachment. The team's been swifted off. Martella's just blown through. She's at Brinton Road with a dead body on her hands.
What?
Some woman's been kebabbed in a Fiesta.
I was told it was just a vehicle fire.
Apparently not. I'm on my way down there now.
I'll be right with you.
I'll see you in the yard.
Stand well back from the tape, please. Well back. Nobody to cross the tape, okay?
I was just driving past. I seen the fire and I pulled over. I ran across, and as I was coming up to it, I seen this bloke. He was just like staring, watching it go up in flames, like he was mesmerized or something.
And this man, did you speak to him?
As soon as he saw me coming, he ran off.
And what did he look like?
Well, he had a grey suit. He was about my height. When I seen somebody trapped in there, it was horrific. I
know.
I never seen nothing like that before. I tried to get to her.
Come along, sir. We'll take you along now.
You saw it all then, Viv? Fancy one of these?
It's all right.
Nasty, don't they?
Garfield,
sure.
Get rid of those rubbernecks. Right up to the top of the street.
Yes, sir. Right, could you move back, please? Behind the tape, all the way. There's nothing going to happen now. She's not going anywhere and you're not going to see anything. So if you just move back so we can do our job, please, thank you. To the end of the road, please.
Have we got a cause of the fire?
Yeah, the fuel lines started to come adrift. It sprayed petrol all over the engine. That's ignited and whoosh. In a matter of seconds, you've got toxic smoke from the plastics.
Could it have been malicious?
Rather hard to say. Somebody could have deliberately loosened the fuel line, sprayed petrol around and thrown a match in. You'd get the same fire pattern.
Right.
Registration A378.
What have we got?
Female body, ma'am, badly charred. No ideas yet, but there's a witness, and Mr. Baker said he saw a man running away from the scene.
Any description?
Grey suit, medium height.
That narrows it down.
Yeah, well, I think he had other things on his mind, ma'am.
They've come through the registered keeper for the vehicle. One David Lee.
Local?
Panton Road. Me and Viv will take it.
No, you front it down here. Try the estate over there, see if somebody else saw something.
It's a lot of doors to go knocking on.
Yes, well, the exercise will give you good touch. Come on, Viv.
Right.
Dr. Alexander, I believe you have a body for confirmation of death. Is it ready for me to examine?
Ready. I'd say it was done to a turn.
No indicator. Let's hope there's no black rats about.
Next door been on about the noise again?
Do you own a beige Fiesta? A378YNY, Mr. Lee?
No. I flogged it a couple of months ago.
You didn't notify any change of ownership, Mr. Lee?
Oh, didn't I? I must have forgot.
Could you tell us where you were between 1 and 2 o'clock this afternoon, sir?
What do you want to know for?
Because legally, that car is still in your keeping, and it happens to be parked about a mile from here with a dead woman in the front seat.
So?
So, could you tell us where you were earlier this afternoon?
I was upstairs, in bed, playing with my do-it-yourself kit.
This isn't a joke. A woman's been burnt alive.
I don't have to tell you nothing.
Well, stop messing him about, Dave. He was round his mother's.
Well?
No. No, I wasn't. I was with a friend.
Does this friend have a name?
You said you were with your mum.
I was down the bookies team.
What, you rotten pig?
Oh, I didn't have a...
Yeah, it started again, hasn't it?
Just...
You swore you'd keep off the horses. I'm scrimping and saving day in, day out, and you're throwing it away down that dump.
Dean, I'm sorry.
So, could you give us the name and address of this bookmaker?
I keep seeing that woman's face flashing through my mind. And I keep thinking maybe I could have saved her.
Do you really think you could?
No. We couldn't get near her. We tried. There was nothing we could do.
So don't give yourself such a hard time.
Yeah.
We've no witnesses, so anything you can find.
I'll see what I can do, Mom.
Roach, yes. Oh, hello, George. Yeah, great.
We're in luck.
That's fast work.
Socko turned up a handbag and remains of some
appreciate
car documents in the passenger door.
Any identification?
Not as
So,
yet, but there's
27.
these.
Yeah.
2 theatre ticket stubs for last Wednesday night.
Yeah, okay, thanks, George. You're a diamond. Result.
What?
According to the box office records, those tickets were booked in advance and paid for with plastic by a Mr. James Martin.
Right.
That was the credit company security, old George Mowbray. Remember him from Me Division? Well, he's done me a favor. James Martin's address.
Good. Right, see if forensic can turn up anything on that. Come on, Viv, let's pay our Mr. Martin a visit.
Right.
I'll mind the shop then, shall I?
Mrs. Martin?
Yes?
Sunhill CID. DCI Reed, DC Martella. May we have a word with your husband, please?
Yes. You'd better come in.
Mr. Martin?
Yes?
DCI Reed, DC Martella.
Yes, I heard.
I'm investigating a serious incident which occurred earlier this afternoon.
Oh, I see. Won't you sit down?
Thank you. Thank you.
What's this all about?
Did you go to the Palace Theatre last Wednesday?
Why?
Please answer the question, Mr. Martin.
Can you explain why theatre tickets bought by you were found in a burnt-out car?
Well, I did buy 2 theatre tickets for last Wednesday. It was silly, really.
Silly?
I'd booked them well in advance, intending to take my wife, but I'd forgotten that she'd arranged to take the kids away to their grandparents last week.
That's right.
So you were away, Mrs. Martin?
Yes, with the children.
So who did you go with, sir?
Well, I went alone. I sold the spare ticket to someone in the queue outside. A young woman.
Can you describe her?
Not really. I just sold her the ticket. I hardly looked at her.
But they were a pair. You were sitting next to her the whole performance, weren't you?
Well, yes.
Surely we've explained about the tickets. I don't see why you have to keep asking all these questions.
It's all right.
My husband's very tired. He's only just come
Please,
back from
darling.
the office.
You've been at work all day, sir?
Yes, he has.
Darling, let me handle this.
You shouldn't let them interrogate you like this.
I'm not. Please, Mary, please stay out of it.
Perhaps you prefer to come down to the station, sir, and discuss it there.
Well,
That's ridiculous.
It might be, easier.
Perhaps that would be best. I'll go with them and we'll get this sorted out.
I think you should phone Timothy. He'll advise you.
No, there's no need for that. It's just some sort of mix-up. Don't worry. I'll get my coat.
Well, shouldn't he have his solicitor?
This isn't an arrest, madam. Your husband's just helping us with our inquiries.
And I've seen you drinking in the Craven Arms.
Possibly.
Got the doctor's report book, Hollis?
No, son.
Could you make sure Ted Roach gets this, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Might see you in the Craven Arms then.
How can Roach pull a cracking bird like that?
No, son, she's a reporter from the Gazette. Doing a piece on that woman got burnt in the car.
Is she?
No, I reckon I could score, eh?
Dream on, Hollis.
I fancy my chances.
Dream, 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 dream.
Have you ever seen anyone burnt alive, Mr. Martin? It's not a very pleasant sight.
No. I imagine it isn't.
I don't have to imagine. I saw what happened to her. A man was seen running away. He was your height, wearing a grey suit. Do you own a grey suit, Mr. Martin?
No. Yes. For God's sake, thousands of people do. Look, I've come here willingly to try and help you. You're treating me like a criminal.
A woman has died in suspicious circumstances. We're simply here to discover the truth.
Somebody ran away from that car, Mr. Martin, leaving that woman trapped in there. What kind of man do you think would do that? Why?
You had a fight, is that it?
She was choking and burning to death. Why didn't you help her?
Did you panic? Is that what happened, Mr. Martin? Had you killed her?
No. It was an accident. There was nothing I could do. I met Anna at work. She was a temporary secretary. We'd been seeing each other.
You were having an affair?
Yes.
What happened?
We were driving back to her flat. I smelled petrol. I remember saying. Suddenly there was a huge flash. The engine just burst into flames. The car swerved and we hit a post. I screamed at her to get out. Flames were coming through the dashboard. I jumped out, and when I looked back, she was still in there.
Well, didn't you try to get her out?
Yes, of course I did. I ran to her side of the car and pulled at the door, but it was jammed. I hammered on the glass. Then suddenly the flames just exploded. Black smoke started belching out, and I couldn't do anything. I was choking. And the heat was... There was nothing I could do.
Why did you run away, Mr. Martin?
It was useless. Well, I could see she was... I panicked. I didn't want my wife to know I was... It would destroy her. Please, don't tell my wife.
All right, son. I've got a message for you from a reporter, female. Cracker and all. I didn't know you was on such intimate terms with the press, son.
I'm not. I'm working on it.
Mr. Whitford and Mrs.
Martin, you've got my husband here.
I'm Mr. Martin's solicitor. Are you holding my client?
Yes, I believe he's helping us with inquiries, sir.
I insist on seeing him, Sergeant.
I'll see if he wants to see you, sir. If you wouldn't mind waiting a minute.
Do you believe his story, Mum?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, we've got the garage that issued the MOT, and I've checked Martin. Clean as a whistle.
He does seem genuine.
Oh, he couldn't be more upset if his dog had died.
We can't all be heroes, Viv.
How long has he been knocking a slice off this Anna Garth?
About 6 months.
And his missus never got a whiff of it?
Apparently not. The accident happens, he panics, runs off, and until we get the post-mortem, that's all it is.
Thank you. Mum, Mr. Martin's solicitor's here.
Right. Of course, we could hold him on suspicion until after the autopsy.
Well, it'll be 4 days before we get it. He won't be cutting until next Tuesday.
No other witnesses, nothing from the door-to-door?
Blank.
Well, there's just one more thing. The garage and Garth's MOT.
Yes.
You do the garage, I'll charm the solicitor.
Okay, just make a small phone call first.
Are we just going to let Martin walk?
Well, you've hardly got him by the knickers, have you? Newsroom? Alice Barnes, please. Yeah, Alice. It's Ted. Yeah, I got your note. Listen, it's hardly a scoop. As a matter of fact, it's looking more and more like accidental death. But the inquest is next Thursday, so if you take your pen and paper along, you might get yourself a little interesting story.
Yeah, that's our stamp.
And the examiner?
Not here, mate.
So who did MOT it?
We did have some nicked. Must have been about the same time as I set that geezer for putting his hand in the till.
Wouldn't be a Dave Lee by any chance, would it?
That's the one. Right little toe rag.
Your wife's here with your solicitor, Mr. Martin.
My wife? Well, you haven't told her. About me and Anna. And please, you mustn't. She'd be devastated. Look, I haven't committed any crime. You could tell her it's been a mistake. She mustn't know, for her sake. It would destroy her.
Just in here, Mr. Whitford.
Please.
I'll leave you with your client, Mr. Whitford. Viv. Here. What was that about?
I'm sorry, Mum. He asked if we can keep his affair secret from his wife.
And?
I thought he was pathetic.
And what did you say to him?
That I thought he told enough lies.
You may think he's pathetic. Maybe he is a liar, he cheats on his wife. It isn't illegal. He has a right to ask us to respect his privacy.
So what about his wife? Doesn't she have a right to expect us to tell her the truth?
At the moment, the only right she has is to know that her husband is free to go and that we are continuing with our inquiries, and that's it.
Yes, Mum.
Like it or not, it's his business what he tells his wife, and we keep our noses well out of it. Never be tempted to play God with other people's relationships, Viv.
No, Mum.
If you do, you end up with egg all over your face.
Mum.
Dave Lee? Yeah? I'm arresting you on suspicion of theft, forgery of MOT certificates, and selling unroadworthy vehicles.
Oh, cobblers.
You're not obliged to say anything, but anything you do say may be given in evidence.
All right, so it was a dodgy MOT certificate, but there was nothing wrong with that motor.
It was a death trap.
Oh, she got what she paid for.
She got burnt alive, mate.
Oh, you can't blame that on me.
Hey.
Yeah?
Could you look after Mrs. Martin for me? Only making them wait.
Look,
Thanks.
Hello. Do you think they'll keep my husband much longer? I don't know.
Have you found out who the woman was in the car?
I couldn't say.
What did James tell you about her?
I'm sorry, I really can't discuss this with you.
Yes, of course. I'm sure it was all some sort of dreadful accident, you know.
It looks that way.
James is... He's not a violent man. He's just very weak. Are you married?
No. Doesn't appeal.
He's always been a good father with the kids and everything. He's just... He's not a very good liar.
He wasted a lot of our time.
I know. The truth will always out.
Yeah, well, it usually does one way or another.
He wasn't trying to hide anything. Not from you.
Sorry?
He lied to you to protect me. You see, he thought I didn't know.
Mrs. Martin, I think your husband's here.
It's fine now, darling. We can go home.
Good. I'm glad we had the chance to talk. Thank you for... Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks. Sorry, I